Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Stock Market Update video. This is where we do technical analysis on QQQ and the mega cap tech sevens. And so that'll be Tesla, Meta, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Apple, and Nvidia. So we're doing technical analysis on them to give us more clues what it will likely do to the Qs, because those are the biggest holdings in Qs and they will move QQQ the most. And if they are starting to showing signs of strength, then the Qs will likely bounce here. But let's take a look at the charts first. And if you guys are anything, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And feel free to go to the comments below and the Patreon link or the Discord link. Discord is free. Come hang out, chat, talk about stocks. And let's get started. So we're looking at QQQ. So this is pretty much, if you chart NASDAQ or chart QQQ, both doesn't matter. And let's take a look at the Q. So on Thursday, on that drop, I talked about that because of this move where we had a big bounce and a big pullback, that we're likely going to just tighten up into an equilibrium on Friday. And it's pretty much exactly what we got. And you can see we bounced. Didn't make over a new high, lower than the prior high. And then we dropped pretty much to the support of the equilibrium. And we bounced tiny bit into the end of the day and time's up. So pretty much we are going to tighten up into probably Sunday night. We might break out of that overnight on Sunday's gaps. And so we have to go to NASDAQ futures. You can watch that chart while it breaks or not. Or, we'll break it on Monday morning. So pretty much this is what we'll be looking at will be the most likely scenario happening. Once we get a bear break, we might get some fall through. First target will be the low of that equilibrium. If we get a bull break, first target is obviously going to be the top of that EQ. And the bulls and bears need to break that for more follow through. Let's say if we get a bear break here, right, and we come down to this level, and then it doesn't break, or a slight break, V shape, and next thing you know, that was a fake out, right? And then bulls take it higher. Same thing. We can get a bull break, and then fake out everybody here, popped up a little bit. Next thing you know, we drop like a rock. So that's what we'll be looking for on Monday to see if we get real follow through on after this equilibrium on the hourly chart breaks. After this tiny unit breaks out, and that's the key for me. If we do break bull and break above this pivot out of this EQ bull, then I'm looking back to the structure pretty much, right? We consolidate around the structure right here, and then we had a bear break from that structure. So the first thing we do when we come up here, this structure is going to act as resistance. So very clear resistance zone here, probably start around 476. There's a little bit here. So if it does reject from 475, it's a little bit of a red flag, but let's say we pop up, and then, curl just a little bit, and it head a little bit higher, that would be a good sign. And so we'll see if that happens. Let's see how many percentages that be. If we break 475, yeah. If we go straight up to 475, we're probably going to get a slight pullback due to a 2.6% move. Is quite a bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if we, come up, get a big pullback. And if we break bear from here, then we're looking back down all the way to potentially zoom back out to the daily chart here. Back down to this structure. This one right here. So that's pretty much where we bounced from. You can see this low of this QQQ candle was at 455.63, which is closer to this structure's high. And if we do break that low, I'm looking closer to this 452 range, lower range of this support. So yeah, we'll see if that equilibrium breaks which way. So very clear, no fake outs here. We will see that equilibrium break. We had an eye on it as well on Thursday. And now it's tightening to Friday. So now we'll look at the 7 mega cap techs to see if they will give us more strength than QQQ currently, so that we may get signs where it's the probability of knowing if it's going to bull break or bear break higher, right? We're traders, we play off of probabilities and go off of the most likely scenario. And it's not always going to play out, right? Let's say it's a 60-40. Sometimes it could go to the 40 or even 70-30. Even 90-10, right? Sometimes 10% that can happen. So you just got to have a stop loss to protect your profits. And if you guys want to learn more about strategies and how to make up a trading plan, or if you guys got any go issues about trading and tilting or any kind of that stuff, go to the Patreon link for one-on-one mentorships. Taking 3 at the moment, and I think I have about 2 spots left, and I only take 10 a year. Let's take a look at Tesla. So Tesla, although its holdings aren't as substantial in Qs itself, but it still helps with the sentiment, right? When everything's green, then sentiment will be a lot better. So similar idea. You can see this big bounce, drop, and it's kind of tightening up as well. You can see we did not break Thursday's high, right? Thursday's high is 225.99, and we didn't break that. So same idea, tiny range. Once we break out of this tiny range, we may come back up to test this 234. If not, then we're probably going to come down. There's not a lot of support here. So if we break this, and not good, we'll probably come out to 200 psychological support. And yeah, so that's another 10% down. Yeah, psychological support, because there's no volume here. So there's like pretty much a volume gap. So the only support you really have is this little sideways action here and the 200 psychological support. And yeah, let's see which way that equilibrium breaks. Meta. So Meta is a lot stronger. So on Thursday, you guys know how I talked about on this hourly trend, where I said, okay, Meta is looking good, right? Meta is big bounce, and it only pulled back 50% of its move, while the Qs pulled like back 80%, right? So Meta had a chance of solid chance of confirming an hourly uptrend, breaking above Thursday's pivot, helping QQQ. So I said that we're probably going to bounce on Friday, so which we did. If these guys start to make that hourly uptrend, because we had 4 out of 5, I think, out of this, so 4 out of 7 of them that was probably going to confirming hourly uptrend because of the size of the pullback was so small for them. So which Meta did, and Meta confirmed a hourly uptrend on Friday, which was lead bull, helping Qs up a little bit. So we'll see if it continues, right? You can see end of the day pullback was also shallow. So let's see if this trend continues. And next thing we were looking at, now we zoom back out, and we want to see it confirming a 4-hour uptrend after it confirmed the hourly one. Let's see if we can do that. So let's click Amazon. Amazon, although it pulled back pretty decently as well, only close to 50%, right, out of this move, it didn't really make much of a move on Friday. So it was pretty much tightening up. So same thing, equilibrium. Let's see if Amazon will break bull out of this on Monday. If it does, then we're looking back up closer to this 11186 zone. You see all these volumes traded here, which is low of this day, around half this day, right? And there's not much in between here. So yeah, so we'll see if Amazon can pull off that hourly uptrend as well, breaking out of this. If it breaks bear, then zoom out to see what's below us. I mean, if we break bear, we're pretty much this structure right now. That's right. Not much has really changed, and low of this structure is pretty close to this low. So if we do break bear, we're probably going to come down to test this low of this structure around this 174 zone. All right, let's take a look at Google. So Google was a lead bear. We talked about that on Thursday as well, where we said that, okay, you see Google closing at the low of state, breaking its prior low of the bounce, right? See, we bounce here, and you can see every other mega cap tech stock pretty much retraced only to here, right? Google closed all the way down here and made it even lower in after hours. So we're talking about that Google is going to be a lead bear, probably dragging Qs down, which makes sense, right? If 4 of them was going up and you have like 3 of these going down, right? Which made QQQ ended up forming a tiny equilibrium, right? Because 4 was helping it go up, 3 was helping it go down, and it ended up becoming a tiny range, right? That's why you get all these clues on how to read the markets. Of course, there's a lot more, but for now, we'll keep looking at the mega cap tech stocks. And so we confirmed an hourly downtrend here without much follow through from the bears, and we just had a slight bounce here. So let's see if Qs can shape out a little bit of a dead cat bounce for the rest of the mega cap, and just don't be a dead weight and help the rest go up. It also is. I mean, it's also forming a small, tiny range just on intraday right here. Not much. So let's see which way this breaks out. And zoom out to see 4 hour. Let's go to the daily, see if there's any strong supports nearby. Okay, so pretty much on Friday, we came down to the low of this structure. And because bulls pretty much need to play defense there, because if they don't, look, there's a whole gap here as well. Because if they don't play defense there, they're going to get flushed to this 160 zone over here. Because there's no support really along between here and there. So looks like bulls play defense there. And let's see if they can play some offense. I'm going off of here because it's yeah, because they did bounce off of that support, right? Last thing you know, you want to play some defense, bounce off support, and then bear flag it. Just kidding, head lower. So we'll see how Google bounces from there, but probably going to bounce. It's my take on it. But we'll see which way this equilibrium breaks first, this tiny range. And Microsoft here, I think we talked about it on Thursday. Microsoft is also a bear because of this bounce, gave it back pretty much all of it. It's like a double bottom. And then it turned into a lead bull on Friday because of it. You can see double bottom at close, right? Triple bottom at open. Tested all 3 times. And bull said, nope, we're not going to let Microsoft drop below 417. And we just boom. And so that was what helped the market. And let's see. Microsoft have a small pullback. And we want to see it confirm hourly uptrend just by breaking Friday's high. That would be a good sign for the market. And we're likely to get Qs bouncing if Microsoft does pull that off. Currently resistance at this, you can see very clear resistance at 428.93, which is exactly this end of the day sideways action. This big flush, and then it's kind of consolidated sideways, came up to it, rejected from there for now. Right, that's what most of the stocks did on Friday. Big bounce, and then reject from this Wednesday's low. Let's go on the daily to see if yeah, pretty much just low of this structure right here. This guy, very clear. Low of that structure was where we exactly bounce off of. You can see how many times we bounce off of here as well, like 6 times or something. And it was prior resistance. You can see we rejected from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then because we're above it, support, 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 support. Now it's doing the same thing. Now it's acting as support for now. So yeah, chances of this bouncing is probably a little bit higher, but we are in a strong downtrend. So we'll see if bulls can pull it off, play some offense here. All right, Apple. So Apple just neutral, didn't really do much itself. It's just a tightening range on Friday, so it didn't really help the Qs or made it worse for the Qs. You can see big bounce. It had its chance, right? It's a 50% pullback. It needed to confirm in the morning. No, it didn't. So it decides to tighten up as well. So it's exactly the same as Qs. So this guy's in neutral. Let's see if we can break out of that with the Qs. But its daily chart is a little bit tiny better than the other guys, especially on the weekly structures. Most of them have been dropping a lot. You can see Apple is still in a weekly uptrend. Most of them aren't anymore. All the other mega cap techs. Big drop on the weekly. So on the next bounce, on this weekly bounce, is this going to be a weekly bear flag or not? Is the question for the market, right? If Apple confirms a weekly bear flag, this will probably drop the market quite a bit if Apple confirms a weekly bear flag, because it's just going to bounce something like this within the 0.382, and then have a couple inside A bars and a bear flag, bear break. That's usually what happens on bear flags, but it'll take a lot of weeks to form that because it's a weekly chart. We only get one candle a week, so we will see it coming. So we won't get surprised when weekly bear flag forms, but I'll definitely let you guys know if I do see one, because I'll be making a video next week, and we'll only have one candle per week. All right, let's take a look at let's see here. Let's look at Nvidia. So Nvidia just can't get over this wall of 166.6. So very, very, very clear resistance right here. The reason this was very clear resistance was this was a weekly support break. So this was the prior weekly support, right? And we just broke it by like $1. and held it for 3 days, and then it flushed. Okay, so you can see bulls play defense here, bounce, and then bears decided to take it lower, and now we came back up to it and ejected there pretty much exactly on Friday. So that 116 level, very key for bulls to get over. And if they do get over, then this would be more like a bear break, kind of lacking follow through on weekly charts. And then bears taking it back up. Might start looking like a falling wedge here. Let's see. Not really. Not yet. Anything really like that at the moment. So, but we'll keep an eye on it, how it shapes up later on. I would say this one will probably act as resistance. If we do come up here, there'd be a good chance they could just be just a triangle right here. If we do come up, but only 2 touches, so just use it as a visual guide. No signs of that yet. But yeah, first they need to get over that 116, and if they don't, you can see Nvidia is flush all the way down here. If bulls break this low of Thursday, they're gonna come down and bears break the low of Thursday, they're gonna come down and fill this gap at 95 or 96 zone. This will be a strong support for sure. But you can see there's a gap here, and they pretty much held it. Last line of defense for the bulls at 106. Break 106, we're gonna go to part 100 psychological support, and then if we break 100 psychological support, then they're gonna fill this gap probably back to this 96. That's what the bears want to do. And for the bulls, break above 116 and potentially come back up to test this structure, or this sideways first. They're obviously gonna break that first. Couple of resistance above before you even get to here. But that's their main goal. All right, that is all for you guys. Have a great rest of you guys' weekend. If you guys have any questions, comment below. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. I did the commodities update video yesterday already, so check that out. And I will see you guys around.